I'm going to be pain free. I'm going to be pain free. I'm going to be pain free. Here we go now. I'm going to be pain free. Come up with a little chant. Be positive. You will be pain free. You got to believe it. Start with pain education, understanding that you are human, and it's great to be above ground versus in the ground. Howdy, y'all. It's your favorite trainer with a belt buckle. Oh, shit. My back. I blew it out. Oh, my God. This is the worst feeling in the world. Chris, you got to be empathetic. Back pain is terrible. I've been that victim before. I've had the worst back pain. I went to a doctor. They wanted to do surgery, diagnosed me with disc protrusion. I went into that white office, smelled terrible. Doctor came in, Mr. Hitchko, you're going to die, basically. Never run, jump, squat, deadlift ever again. There's a diagram on the wall. It looks like my disc is on the floor. Everything's out of whack. You have degeneration. The mind is a powerful thing. And I'm here to help you today by providing the best, if not the single best video on YouTube around back pain. Back pain isn't going to be cured just by doing planks. Do these 3 exercises and all of a sudden you're going to be fixed. Back pain begins in the brain. Pain education. We have a great team of therapists who we work with. Physical therapists from USC, the PreHab Guys. I'm going to show you some exercises that they have in their app, which is amazing and you should definitely get. But I'm going to start first by educating you on what pain is. Pain is beautiful. When you come in to my gym in Santa Monica, West Hollywood, or San Diego and say, Chris, I got back pain. I go, woo! Awesome! Love it! High five! I'm not that crazy because so many people have this mindset that they're broken, that they're about to die, because it does suck. Imagine getting out of bed, which I've done before, and it takes you 10 minutes and you have to walk to the bathroom like this. Because of that fear. And we need to understand, pain is multifactorial. Your environment, how it was told to you, what you're currently doing. Do you drink? Are you sleeping enough? Stress, work, is it cold outside? All these things factor in. And so it's super, super important to have a positive mindset going into pain. I did a little survey at one of our seminars in Austin. Had freezing cold water. And I told everyone, this is going to be the coldest water you've ever touched in your life. Put your hand in here. On a scale of 1 to 10, how painful is this? We had about 20 people. Some people said 4, some people said 8, some people said not that bad at all. We had a couple say 10. How is it that this environment is neutral for these 20 people, but everyone reported different scores? That's how pain is. So a lot of us have a very negative environment when it comes to pain. A lot of people have low back pain. I've worked with a lot of individuals. I've seen people cry right in front of me. Some people are addicted to opiates. Don't get surgery. The most important thing we need to begin with when it comes to back pain is identifying, is it worse than it is? Is it kidney issues? Is it cancer? Is it a tumor? I don't know. Let's eliminate that, and then let's address how long we've been experiencing it. I guarantee you, for most of you watching this, your experience was really negative. You were lifting something. You were told that you have some nasty disease, scoliosis. You have degeneration, disc protrusion, disc herniation. If you were to take 100 people right now off the street here on Sunset Boulevard, and you were to do an MRI on them, half of them say they have back pain. Half of them don't. And you were to give those MRIs to physicians, they would tell you that this person has back pain, this one doesn't. And they can't identify which group really has back pain. People that don't have back pain will sometimes have worse MRIs. So when you go in to that little tank and you hear boom, 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 you're like, fuck this, I want to get out of here. And then the doctor comes in and says, you are screwed, you need to get surgery. Try to avoid it at all costs. A great book you can read is Crooked. It talks about the industry They did a survey on low back surgeons, like 1,000 docs. And they asked them, how many of you would get low back surgery? Not a single one said they would. And this isn't an attack against physicians. No, this is helping you get through your low back pain episodes. And the most important thing you got to know, you got to realize is that there is hope. So start there. In class, I teach personal trainers. I'll use an analogy with a person who's been attacked by a dog. Let's use a pit bull. Let's just, make those guys the bad ones. And so that individual is going to see all pit bulls as terrible. More than likely, they're going to associate all dogs in the same regard. And so what we need to really do is educate that individual that, no, it's not all dogs. That was a terrible situation. I'm sorry. The best thing we can do in that victimhood situation, an actual dog attack, is bring someone into a classroom like this where there's a glass barrier and to watch little kids playing with puppies. They're laughing, they're smiling. So that individual now processes, wow, that's really neat. They're happy. You don't just go pull them in there and say, play with dogs. You're fine. No. Slow exposure, gradual exposure, and that's what I'm going to show you in these exercises. And then when they feel comfortable, you give them a little puppy, and they lick their face, and they go, oh, it's not that bad. Little by little, as they get more comfortable with their situation, their environment, their likelihood of that pain is to come down. So one of the things I want to help you with is finding your tolerance. I can't grab 100 people and say, get into this 45-degree water for 15 minutes. This is the best thing for you. And that's what a lot of people do on social media, influencers. Fix this, fix that, shut up. We got to take a step back and address the big picture. And so we got to find your tolerance. So when a client comes into me, I communicate very well with them that this is workable. Eliminate those red flags. Make sure to get checked out. We don't want anything nasty going on because your kidneys are back here. That can be low back pain. You could have cancer. You could have a lot of really serious issues. So I'm not downplaying that. Make sure you get those eliminated. Once we do, let's have some fun. And so your tolerance may be here. Mine may be here. So we got to identify that. So when my client comes in, I let them know that we're going to do some exercises. I'm going to expose you to some stuff, and I'm going to get some feedback. It's okay to work through pain. No pain, no gain. No, this is the military. If there's pain, maybe if the individual hasn't been educated, there may not be gain. So I got to find your tolerance. Set clear expectations. Your pain is here. We're going to come up to here. Sooner or later, we're going to come down to here. But when you set those expectations, the client's guard begins to come down. And so just like someone I can jump into a cold water immersion, 45 degrees, be in there 15 minutes, easy. Someone looks at me, that's nuts. I can never do that. Yeah, you could. But we got to gradually expose you. Got to find your tolerance. Once we find your tolerance, that's when we can start building on it. That's the principle of overload. It's the same thing with working out. Pick up a 5-pound dumbbell. You will get up to curling 75s like I do, but it takes time. So these are some exercises that I implement from the PreHab Guys that you should definitely incorporate. But that last 5 minutes of me yabbering off on pain is more important probably than these exercises. It's setting clear expectations. I would do these every single day, multiple times. If you ever have a back pain episode, which is common, it's the weirdest shit sometimes, right? Like you come over here and and you're just out. You didn't do anything. Well, you have a pain library of exercises now that I'm going to show you that you can implement. This is your safe house. Typically, when I work with my clients, I like to start with exercises that don't involve the spine bending too much. Because we have flexion intolerance, which is when you come forward. We have extension intolerance, lateral flexion intolerance, compression. So which one are you? We'll identify that by just doing a little screen. And when my client moves with hesitation, so for example, touch your toes and they go, oh, right there, that really hurts. Okay, that's all right. We've found your tolerance. We're going to work in that tolerance zone. Perfectly normal. I'm excited. We found that. I use a lot of positive vocabulary. I like to do planks a lot because the spine is neutral. And for a lot of my clients, it doesn't exacerbate their issue. But again, if I set those clear expectations that you're going to have a little flare-ups here and there, their brain is okay with it. Don't start doing 35 exercises the first day. Find that tolerance. So are we lateral flexion? Are we flexion, extension? Where's our intolerance? The opposites, where there isn't pain, that's where I like to live a lot. So for example, my client comes in, I'll say about 90% of my clients are flexion intolerant. Oh my God, this hurts like holy hell. What about this? Oh no, that doesn't hurt. Great. I want you to do this a lot throughout the day. Because this movement is telling yourself that you aren't going to die. You're not a leper. You are beautiful. You are awesome. So we got to find those things where we can start. Okay, and you can always tell when someone's putting on that front because they go, oh, that hurts. And then when they get there for the second time, they go, oh, no, it's okay. Bullshit. I've identified pain. So let me show you some exercises that are going to help with your low back pain. I like to start my low back exercises first thing in the morning. Do whatever you can do where there's no pain. Maybe it's lateral flexion. Maybe it's a little bit of flexion. Maybe it's just extension. 20, 30 repetitions just to get the brain recognizing this is going to be fun. Then get into some foam rolling. We're going to start by getting into the glutes. If you have a lacrosse ball, a tennis ball, those are going to be more advanced. You're going to get into that tissue right on the side of your butt cheek. Just rock back and forth. You see a lot of people just going like, we're going down a slide. No, just hold. If you want to introduce some movement, 30 seconds minimum. Do both sides. You have a foam roller. Put your butt cheek on the end of it. We're not sitting on it. We're going to the side. If you want to make it more challenging, bring it up here. Find that cuss word spot. Breathe. A lot of times I'll be listening to classical music, setting amazing goals for the day. What were my wins yesterday? Thinking about all the great positive things in the world, the sun, the rain, my kids, my wife, great things in the world. A good minute. Do both sides. Number 2, I like to walk in and walk out. So just start moving into, it's like a little flow. Back and I'll do good 10, 15 of these. Each repetition, gradually exposing myself to a little more stress. Hold a little longer. A little bit of pain, that's all right. I'll make it more challenging. You can do one leg. 15 to 20 of those. Now we're going to open up our legs. Keep one leg stationary. Other one's going to come down. Bring it up. 15 repetitions. If you're doing this with a client, don't give them eye contact, you creep. Now we're going to play around with the lumbar spine. There's 5 of them, referred to as L in an MRI. L4, L5, disc protrusion, whatever bullshit they try to scare you with. So we have 5 of them. Each vertebrae has about 1 to 3 degrees of range of motion. So we got about 15, 20 degrees of range of motion in our lumbar spine. People who try to scare you, don't bend your back, tell them to shut up. The spine is beautiful. It wants to move. It can move. So what we're doing is we're just rotating back with a posterior tilt and the anterior tilt. Going back and forth, trying to go through those 5 vertebrae. Squeeze your core nice and tight. When I say squeeze your core, pretend like if you were to close your eyes, Casper's in the room and he's going to come punch you at one time. You don't know what it's going to be. So squeeze as hard as you can. Don't let Casper punch you. 20 of these. And if you can go to an extreme range of motion, great. More power to you. Next, cat, camel, cow, dragon, whatever the hell you want to call this guy. Tuck your tail under. Tuck your head under. Push your butt back. Come down into it. Look up. Hey, who's up there? Tuck your butt under. Squeeze your core. Tuck your head. Push. We're going to do 15 to 20 of these. Come down. Look up. You're looking at my spine, not my ass. Now we're going to do a nerve glide. Hands behind your knee. Point your toes up. Come back down. Flex your anterior tibialis. 1, 2, 15. Get a nice little stretch of that nerve. Sometimes we could get some blockage. Think of it like Excalibur with the sword and the stone. I think it was Excalibur. It may not release itself on the first 5. It could be day 37 doing these. And all of a sudden, voila, your back pain disappears. Like, what the hell? So our nerves come out of the spine, peripheral nervous system. And these little nerve glides can help jar things loose. Not scientific jargon at all. Next, we're going to do some strengthening exercises. Put your feet together, band around the knees. I like to wear pants because I got hairy ass legs and it can be uncomfortable. And we're just going to do some bad girl, good girl exercises. Bad boy, good boy. Nice and controlled. 20 repetitions. Don't want to see this. Nope. Controlled. For all of these, we're going to be doing 2 to 3 rounds. So after I do 20, chill out. Maybe I'll read a little bit, a page or 2, and then I'll do my second round. Get yourself a great book like mine, How to Become a Successful Personal Trainer. Read. I usually get between 5 and 10 pages in the morning when I go through this routine. Break the foam roller. Squeeze it as hard as you can. 15, 20 seconds. Relax. Watch out for the boys. Do it again. Squeeze as hard as you can. Maybe 22 seconds this time. Relax. Watch out for the boys. Do about 3 to 5 rounds of this, squeezing as hard as you can for anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. Start low and then gradually increase. Squeeze, breathe. When I relax for a good 30 seconds, I'll read a couple pages of my book. Not my book, but a book. You know what I'm talking about. And I'm going to challenge you to get down into a deep squat. Read a book like mine, How to Become a Successful Personal Trainer. You should have the 3 checkpoints, big toe, little toe, heel on the ground. You have a little bit of eversion. It's not the end of the world. Knee valgus, oh my God, you're not going to die. This is just to kind of decompress the spine. We have 33 vertebrae from the top to the bottom. Cervical has 7, thoracic has 12, lumbar has 5. Then we have 9 fused in the sacrum and coccyx. So when I'm reading, what I'll do is I'm going to drive my knees into my elbows, just like I did in the foam roll drill. Maybe 15 seconds, I'm going to relax. And then maybe after a minute or so, I challenge you to get down here for 5 minutes. And I like to open up, get some rotation. Do the other side. Notice how my heel comes off the ground in the beginning. I want to work up to driving my knees out and get a nice little stretch and go as far as I can while maintaining some good breathing with my heels on the ground. I like to follow my head to my hand just to work with spine movement, cervical movement, thoracic, lumbar. This is just letting you know that you are capable. This pain is going to go away. And when you're going through this little morning routine, this flow, those positive affirmations are really, really helpful. I have low back pain. That's okay. This is going to go away. I'm going to be pain-free. I'm going to be pain-free. Say it. I'm going to be pain-free. 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 Here we go now. I'm going to be pain-free. Come up with a little chant. Be positive. You will be pain-free. You got to believe it. Start with pain education, understanding that you are human, and it's great to be above ground versus in the ground. You will get through this. Eliminate any red flags. Go to the doctors for that. If they try to do surgery on you, give yourself some time. Go to a professional who understands low back pain, like us at Show Up Fitness, like the PreHab Guys. We have partners in physical therapy, dietitians, professors. We are the best in fitness. That's why we have a certification. If you want some training, come to our West Hollywood, Santa Monica, San Diego location, and we will help you. Comment below. Let us know what you think. Let us know how we've helped you with your low back pain. And most importantly, besides reading my book, keep showing up.